Hi Year 3, welcome back. This is lesson 4 of week 4. I think yesterday I got it wrong. And today we're going to be looking at multiplying larger numbers. So the past 2 days, hopefully you've had a good time multiplying your 6 times tables and your 8 times tables and seeing how our 3 times tables and our 4 times tables can help us with those other times tables. But today, like I said, we're going to be looking at larger numbers, in this case 2-digit numbers. So you can see here that I already have 2 times 24, so factors of 2, and I need to find my product. Now on Monday we looked at how we could use arrays and bar models to do this. However, think about it, if I wanted to do an array, I would be here for quite some time. So I would start with 2 groups and then keep going until I've got to 24. So there's a much faster way of doing this, and we will have a look at this right now. Now I know that some of you can already do this mentally and you just see the connections of those numbers in your times tables, and that's terrific. But I'm still going to do a step-by-step strategy here on looking at how we do multiply larger numbers. So the first step, step 1, is to draw this factor in your Dean's blocks. So I'm going to draw 4 ones. Remember, we represent our ones using dots. And how many tens? 2 tens. So 2 big lines here. So that is 24. Now this is telling me I have 2 24s. So I just need to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to put it under the other. So if you want to draw a line, that's absolutely fine. And I'm going to do the same thing. So this is my other 24. So there I have 2 24s. And now it's easy enough. All we need to do is add them together. So first, always very important with multiplication, we're going to start with our ones. So I know that 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. And then I'm going to look at my tens. So 2 tens plus another 2 tens is 4 tens. Now, even though it's 40, remember, I'm not going to put a 40 here because that would break the rule of place value. Remember, our rule of place value, you have your hundreds, your tens, your ones, and it can only have a digit from 1 or even 0 to 9 in this. Once it goes over 9, so if it becomes a 10, it goes into the next column. So here in this case, I have 8 ones, which I can see, and I have 4 tens. Even though that is 40, because I know I have 4 tens, which is 40. But remember that, because that is quite a common mistake, and that is definitely not 408. So be careful with that. Now this problem was quite nice because we didn't need to do any regrouping, which meant that actually all these, this was less than 9, and this digit as well was less than 9. I didn't need to regroup into my other column, which means you could actually do this mentally as well. If I look at my ones first, so 2 times 4 ones, in my ones I'm going to have 8. 2 times 4 is equal to 8. And then I'm going to do the same thing, 2 times 2, or 2 times 20, similar thing that we did here. 2 times 2 is 4, so I know I'm going to have 4 in my tens. So 48. Remember, always start with our ones. But let's also look, it's very important to see what happens when we need to regroup. This time I have 3 times 24. So we're going to use the same strategy here. I'm going to start by drawing my 24 in ones. So same thing, 4 ones and 2 tens. Now I need 3 of them. So let me do that really quickly. So you can see here that I have 3 24s. Now again, we're going to add them together, starting with our ones. Excellent work. So the first thing to check is, how many do we have? Well, I know that 4 plus 4 is 8, and then another 4, that's going to be 12. So already I know that I need to regroup. And to do this, I'm actually going to switch colors. I think it's a great idea if you do this at home as well, because I'm going to circle, how many do you think I'm going to circle? Exactly 10. So I know this is 8, and then 2 more would make 10. So there I have 10. Now, am I done there? No, because this 10, I'm going to swap it over for another 10. And I'm going to put that 10 here, and I'm going to circle it so I remember to count it. And now all we need to do is count to see what we have left. So here I have only 2 left, so I have 2 ones left. I'm going to look at my tens column now. Remember to count the one that we regrouped. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. So altogether I have 72. Now you could do this mentally as well. If you think that 3 times 4 is equal to 12, and then 3 times, it wouldn't be 2, it would be 20 is equal to 60. 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 2 is 6. And then add these two products together. So 2 plus nothing, 2 plus 0 is 2, and then 10 plus 60, or 6 plus 1, same thing, is 7. So that gives me 72, the same answer. So let's look now at your packet. All right, so you can see here that we have 6 multiplication equations that I'd like you to solve. So here we have 22 times 4. So again, you're going to draw in Dean's the larger factor. So in this case, 22. Are we going to need any hundreds? Well, no. So think about how you're going to show 22 and show it 4 times. So 2 tens, 2 ones, 2 tens, 2 ones, 2 tens, 2 ones, 2 tens, 2 ones, and then add it together as well. Now the nice thing, I've been a bit nice here, the first row here, these are all problems that you will not need any regrouping. So you can either, if you'd like to still draw them in Dean, so show 4 22s, show 3 13s, and show 9 11s, squeeze them in, that's perfect. Or you can do kind of this rainbow method that we talked about. So going first the ones and then over to the tens and show us that way. Now the bottom one you must draw in Dean's because I want to make sure that you're understanding the strategy. So remember, you're going to draw the larger factor. So 15 fives, 3 17s, and 6 18s. And all of these problems, these 3, you will need to regroup. So remember, first circle 10 of them, then swap it, draw that 10 there. Remember to count what you have left over and then add it all together so you can do that. So again, rewatch this video if you need to. I think the best way is just be very careful when you're drawing your Deans. Make sure you're putting it in the place value. I'm pretty sure none of these go actually over to the hundreds, so you may or may not need that, but really pay attention of your tens, well, your ones, tens, and hundreds, all right? Yeah, and if you feel free, if you want to at the end to double check with an adult, you can check your calculations and then fix any that you've done wrong in green pens, and then that way you can check to see where you've gone wrong. I think the biggest thing is when we need to regroup, sometimes we forget that, or like I said, putting too many digits in one of the place value holders. So make sure you don't make that mistake. All right, see you tomorrow for division, which will be really fun as well. Okay, bye-bye.